This is WICR.
Alright folks, welcome back for our third and final segment of the day of The Rock is On. I'm your host, The Rock. We're going to make the transition from basketball to baseball. As you know, pitchers and catchers report this week. Mets reported yesterday. Yankees are going to report, I believe, tomorrow or Wednesday, one of those 2 days. And we're going to talk about both these teams starting pitching. We'll get into more. We'll talk about the other holes and other assets they have to, the other holes and the other questions that remain for both these teams next week when position players report. But we're going to talk about the starting pitchers, and we'll start about with the Mets. And as some of you Met fans know, Noah Syndergaard, aka Tor, put on 17 pounds of muscle over the off season because he proclaims he really wants to throw harder and he wants to throw faster. So that just shows you, hey, this guy has a tremendous work ethic and he will do whatever it takes to win and to be the very best at his position and in the league. So I like Syndergaard's work ethic there, but the problem, here's an enigma, one of the few enigmas for the Mets, is can their starting pitching, or can their starting staff stay healthy throughout the course of the year? Yes, there's going to be a point in the season where they're going to feel tired, and their arms are going to feel like they're going to come off, and that they need to skip a start or two just to get some extra rest. Perfectly understandable. But come postseason time, God willing that the Mets make it, hopefully that the Mets make the playoffs, that hey, they need to be ready and they got to be durable. Because you have Harvey, who was coming off an atrocious season last year, and I think, and some people say he had like an injury going on, but I think it was all psychological and mental. Maybe losing Game 5 or losing the lead in Game 5 of the 2015 World Series to the Royals, maybe that hurt him a little because he couldn't finish the job and he was pitching so dominantly in that game for the most part. But Harvey needs to bounce back. Then you have injuries to DeGrom, who was shut down with I believe it was an elbow or shoulder injury, but he was shut down though, so he's got to be healthy. Matz had bone chips in his elbow though, so he had to miss some time last year. And of course, Zach Wheeler is coming off Tommy John surgery, and he hasn't pitched in nearly 3 years. He missed all of last season. He missed all of 2015. And there's some murmurs going on saying, hey, maybe he can be coming out of the bullpen instead of a reliever, but that is yet to be determined. And we all know the Mets have a terrific lineup. They have a home run hitting lineup. They have a team that can hit a plethora of home runs. We know that. But one of the main questions is, can the starting staff for the New York Mets stay healthy throughout the course of the season? Because you know Syndergaard's durable, and he put on some muscle over the off season, so you know he's going to be strong and better than ever. Harvey should bounce back because, like I said, I think it was all psychological for him. And then it's all a matter of DeGrom, Matz, and Wheeler can stay healthy, and they can just bounce back from their injuries. Because if the Mets pitching rotation can stay healthy throughout the season, they're a lock at 90 wins, and they're an automatic playoff team, without a doubt. And obviously they're World Series contenders, absolute World Series contenders, and they'll be in competition for the World Series. If all the pieces fall together. Now, with that being said, we're talking about the Mets. We go from the Mets to the Yankees, and this Yankees starting pitching, it's okay. I mean, they have some veterans or some old guys there, and then some rookies. But with that being said, we'll go over it. We have Masahiro Tanaka, who's the ace, arguably the ace of the staff for the Yankees. But this is what concerns me about Tanaka. A few years ago, he got an MRI on his throwing arm, and they found a slight tear in his elbow. And now, when you hear, tear, elbow, guy's got to get Tommy John out for, pretty much for a whole entire season. And it's all a matter of will he ever be the same again. But credit Tanaka, he's been pitching through it though, and he's been somewhat effective despite the tear though, but I don't want to jinx anything, knock on wood, but I think he's going to have to get Tommy John surgery at some point though, and he may even be worsening the tear, but continue to pitch through it. But hopefully I'm wrong, and because I don't want to see a player get hurt or be a terrific player like him be out for an entire season. It would be such a shame. You have a veteran, and then with the Yankees moving on, you have CC Sabathia, who's a veteran leader. He's not the same pitcher as he once was during his early years with the Yankees and then with the Cleveland Indians. But you know what? He surprised a lot of people, though. He wasn't effective, but he was decent, and he wasn't getting rocked as much as he was in years prior. But can he just be consistent? Can he be, like that fourth or fifth starting pitcher in the rotation? Keep the opposition off the board in terms of how many runs they score, and then keep the Yankees in the game whenever he pitches. Can he do that for this year, for 2017? And then you have Michael Pineda, and a question that remains with him is, can he bring his A game every start? Because this guy, I think he has tremendous talent and tremendous ability, but he's just very, very inconsistent, extremely inconsistent. It's like he'll have one great, phenomenal game where he'll strike out 10 plus guys, get the W, and then the next start he gets rocked. Like, what's up with that? And then I think he was one of the top pitchers. He didn't have a great record, but he was one of the top pitchers in strikeouts. So that just shows you the only way he's getting guys out is unless he's striking them out. But he's got to bring his A game every single start. You can't have one good start, one bad start. It can't be like a roller coaster where you're thriving high, you're going up, and then something bad happens, you're going down. You can't do that. Not unless if the Yankees want to compete in 2017. Michael Pineda needs to be consistent for every start he pitches. And I understand he's not going to win every start, but if the guy can go, let's say, 13-6 or something like that, have like maybe a 3 ERA, 3 or even a 4 worst case scenario, as a Yankee fan, you should take that from Pineda. And then you have Luis Severino, who last year, or years prior, you heard, the Yankees could probably trade him to get a big-time player, though, or a rental guy if they want to compete for a World Series. But you know what? The Yankees, I don't want to sound biased or anything, I really don't expect the Yankees to be World Series contenders for 2017. I really don't. Because they have a lot of young guys who need to go through an entire full season, an entire Major League season, and they have some bad expiring contracts, like Jacoby Ellsbury, like Brett Gardner, and Chase Headley, that they want to get rid of. And granted, they brought in Chris Carter and Matt Holliday. Yes, I know to some it didn't make any sense, but if you think about it, in the AL East, there's a lot of lefty pitching, and the Yankees needed a lot of right-hand bats, and they needed some guys to fill in for A-Rod and Teixeira, who are no longer with the team. But with Severino, though, the question for him is, can he bounce back? The guy was erratic last year. He had a 3-point. His ERA was over 5, and his record was 3-8. Now, could that have been he was a rookie, and the Major League game was too much for him? Maybe. But you know what? I think once you get that experience under your belt, you're a little more calm. You're a little more at ease. So I think, what? Like I said, if the Yankees may not be World Series contenders for this year, but I think 2018, 2019, 2020, they'll definitely be in the conversation for competing for a World Series, because they still have some bad contracts. Got to get rid of those players that I mentioned, and then just build through the farm system, develop your players, and hopefully they pan out. That's all you can say. But with that being said, that concludes this show for The Rock is On. Tune in next week to hear your latest sports news and updates. Have a great day, everyone.